there really aren't all that many books on Kennedy and Vietnam. There are a handful, one in '85 and then a few in subsequent decades, and some of them are quite targeted. Some are fairly thin, some are very comprehensive. What I set out to do was not to write a comprehensive account of Kennedy and Vietnam, but really to focus on something much narrower, which is this withdrawal plan that was undertaken during the Kennedy years to extricate the United States from Vietnam. It was a plan that was first tabled in the middle of 1962 and then was developed over the course of 1963. And then my initial thought was this would be great, what a wonderful opportunity. And it grew out of our work actually here at the Miller Center, because as a member of the Presidential Recordings Program back in 2005, I participated in a conference along with Fred and several of our colleagues on this question of what was Kennedy's plan for Vietnam in late 1963? What did Lyndon Johnson think Kennedy's plan for Vietnam was? And what did Johnson do about it once Johnson became president on the 22nd of November that year? So my original thought was just to write on that small little slice, but then I came to realize that to tell the story of the withdrawal plan, I actually had to backtrack and tell the story of Kennedy and Vietnam more comprehensively. And so I spent a fair amount of time developing what I saw as Kennedy's commitment to Vietnam, hence that part of the title. And then I carried the story past 63 into 64, into March of 1964, when the plan essentially falls apart under LBJ. And then I tack on an epilogue which addresses the story about that planning, the narrative about that planning at the time, late 1960s into the 1970s, but then very much so in the era of 9/11 and the way that conversation about Kennedy and Vietnam became rolled into a conversation and the United States and its use of force abroad. So it became a much larger project. And I would say that, again, it is not really a comprehensive history of Vietnam, although it covers much of the same ground, and it has to. But it is a much more targeted exploration of his planning to withdraw the United States. So in effect, it's a study of Kennedy's commitment to Vietnam through the lens of his planning to withdraw from it.